Hi gang, Rob here. It is the morning of 3 December 2015 and you are looking at one big, happy, scary, sharp family. Yeah, I have a customer, Michael, lives on the East Coast, who he gets a little obsessed and fixated from time to time. He's kind of a psycho knife nut. And when Cold Steel released their newest versions of the Recon 1 series in CTS-XHP steel with a bona fide high quality black coating, be it DLC or some kind of a PVD coating, whatever the case may be, kind of hard to tell, but it's a good one. Anyway, when these knives became available, Michael became obsessed to the point of buying all three: the Mini Recon 1, the Recon 1, and the Recon 1 XL, all in clip point blades, all beautifully done. And we'll start sort of with the normal Recon 1 as we look at these. Not much new here except the high quality coating everywhere, even inside the action, which I don't think is a bad thing. Triad locks are, I wouldn't say notoriously notchy or difficult to deploy when they're new, but they're a little stiff, a little catchy. But after just a little bit of use and a little bit of internal maintenance, mostly just cleaning and lubing, we got a pretty deployable big old 4-inch knife. Actually, although these are advertised at 4 inches, I don't believe I've ever seen one that actually measured 4 inches in blade length. Let's see. Yeah. This one's pretty long after sharpening about almost 3 15/16, so that's pretty long. A lot of these come in barely 3 7/8. That's quite dependent on how they're sharpened initially at the factory. Here's a good look for you at this new coating. You'll not be taking this off with a screwdriver or with stripper. It appears to be applied over a pretty good and smooth micro-finished satin, and it's everywhere inside the knife. All the polishing is done prior to coating, and I think it probably enhances the action just a little. Other than that, everything else is the same. I will say this though, it seems like their grinding is a little more precise on these new blades. And by the way, does the CTS-XHP take an edge? Well, guys, it just flat does. Look at that polish. And with a high polish usually comes a super keen edge, and oh my. All three of these are just scalpel-like. Good symmetry at the tip, at least on the larger two. I had to work a little bit on the Mini to get them to come out even on both sides. If there's a downfall in Cold Steel's process, it's generally going to be the symmetry of their grinds and specifically of their edge grinds. But and those of you who sharpen know that it's pretty hard to get an edge grind to look symmetrical sometimes if the main grind of the knife isn't really good. These are really good. Even centering, really good. Take a look at the big one. Oh, guys, I haven't measured this. How long is that blade anyway? Doggone it. If I can keep from moving it. It's about 5 5/16 inches long. And actually still a knife that'll fit in the front pocket of a pair of Levi's. You'll notice, different from the normal size Recon 1 and the Mini, the XL is full flat ground, and precisely so. Let's see, how true does a 5.5-inch knife blade have to be centered in the handle? I bet you Cold Steel can't do that. Oh wait, I guess they can. And you talk about a beast. I don't know if I can even flick this open in front of the camera, but oh, I guess I can. Did you hear that? Oh, guys, it's like a 12 gauge. What a monster. Let me point out something I think is kind of interesting. We'll pull the Mini out here. Whereas the normal Recon 1 and the Mini Recon 1 are both hollow ground with a big nasty swoopage of plunge grind, notice the choil on the Mini, which looks exactly like the 4-inch Recon, that I have modified so it is sharpenable at the base. Look at the big one. That plunge grind and sharpening notch are completely factory. No modification needed. Wouldn't it be nice if the smallest one was done like the largest one? I mean, we got 5.5 inches of blade to burn here. Why do we have to put this big nasty plunge grind on the Mini? Let me show you a picture of the plunge grinds as shipped from Cold Steel to show you what I mean. Basically what you had is a sharpening notch or a choil this size with this big plunge grind. So you had a little notch and then about over 1/8 of an inch of unsharpened tapering metal before the edge started. So here's that picture. Take a look. Yeah, so that becomes this, and we have nice clean cutting edge, hilt to tip. Here's another interesting note on the Mini, which has a blade length of about 2 7/8. It has new scale material. Here is the old Recon 1 Super Rough G10, which carries through on the 2 larger models. The Mini shares the same new scale material with the American Lawman, and it is thinner and it is more finely textured. I think you could actually put this knife in and out of your pocket without making any sanding modification at all. Here a little bit of that Cold Steel stick on lock release. It will work out. There, it got better already. I might have a little lubage in there. But that locking tooth does wedge quite strongly in between the stop pin and blade tang. It takes a while for it to get broken in and smooth out, but it will. Very nice. Pricing, and these are Blade HQ prices as of today, 3 December 2015. $89.95 for the Mini, $104.95 for plain edge clip point normal size Recon 1. And for the Beast, with a 5.5-inch blade, would you look at that consistency of cutting edge. How you grind a blade this long, that consistently to the edge, is a pretty amazing thing for a knife that costs $155 out of a premium modern super steel, built like a tank, strongest lock on the planet, and pretty slickly deployable for a knife of its size. $155 is a buy. All three of them are just great buys. And here's the cool thing. I'm going to pick up this big monster and cut some phone book paper. Yeah, really, no kidding. The other two cut well, as you'd expect. But the fact that that large knife comes in as such an awesome cutter is kind of cool. Cold Steel just continues to impress, guys. I'd love to see them start making these knives, especially the two big ones. Well, all three of them, I guess. And some more creative handle materials. Maybe keep the G10 frame and then, mill it out a little bit. Put some wood scales on it. Make the bolster end, the faux bolster end, smooth, polished maybe. Don't go back to that aluminum frame stuff. It doesn't hold up. It looks horrible. Even doing some titanium would be nice. Would I pay $200 for this knife if it had a high quality, well finished handle? You're darn tootin' I would. Would I pay $1.25 for the Mini? Yeah, I would. And by the way, 4-finger grip. Oh, great little knife. I just wish they could put this blade in it. This is a medium Voyager. Less than half of the price. In AUS 8, mine is. I think newer ones are BD1, CTS BD1 from Carpenter. This will forever puzzle me. Oh boy. I'm having a little trouble because I've got AUS 8, lots of AUS 8 triad lock Cold Steels in my collection, and I'm fighting the urge to buy the XHP versions. I don't know how long I'm going to be successful at that. Anyway, guys, thought you'd like to see them, and since we're, scarcely 3 weeks from Christmas, any ladies watching or anyone who has a knife guy on your Christmas list, some Cold Steel, not a bad idea. That's all for this one. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word and Michael's Recon stable are sharp.